the channel. My name is the Scottish Koala, and today we are revisiting the idea of a free-for-all event in War Thunder. And today, we actually have a reason to. That's right, for the 100th anniversary of the Royal Air Force, or RAF, Gaijin has opened up a free-for-all event featuring Spitfire variants in order to unlock the supposedly rare Spitfire F Mark 9C. The fact that this variant of the Spitfire is buyable with Golden Eagles and not at all rare seems to have slipped Gaijin's mind, but say no more, it's time to dive into the event. So the Royal Air Force was founded in early April of 1918, 100 years ago. And for this historic event, Gaijin is giving us a couple of British Air Force related boons. Of course, we've already talked about the Spitfire F Mark 9C, but there is also the His Majesty's Finest Premium Bundle Pack, which features Prendergast Spitfire Mark 14E, the Wyvern, the Martin Baker MB5, and the special player title of His Majesty's Finest. This pack costs just over $60 and comes with 2,000 Golden Eagles and 2 weeks of premium account time. While this event is on, we also have the ability to buy the Typhoon Mark 1B and Pelagius Spitfire F Mark 9C for Golden Eagles, rather than just off the Gaijin store. That may matter to some. However, that's not what we're here to talk about today. What you're seeing in the background of this video is footage from the event, which will be held until the 9th of this month, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. The tournament requires you to make use of the Spitfire variants Mark 2B, Mark 5B, F Mark 9 and LF Mark 9, with a 4-spawn maximum in all game modes, in a free-for-all against 4 other Spitfire pilots, 5 per match. If you don't have access to all these variants, don't worry, you only need one to enter and the others will be given to you stock with rookie crews to use during the battles. The objective is to be the first to shoot down 6 players, however with a 4-spawn maximum, this frequently becomes impossible. Actually, I won several battles with as little as 4 kills by placing highest in points. This means that assists are still good news for you, which is good news in and of itself, because the sparks in such a hectic game mode were horrendous. Now, there were several issues I would point out with this game mode, first of which, and the least unforgivable, is the cost. Now, such an event often requires a participation fee, but this one was steep. 50,000 Silver Lions for a ticket which permits you to enter 60 battles in your chosen game mode, plus 10,000 Silver Lions to ante up per match, which all go to the winner. Couple that with the repair cost of each vehicle and you're looking at as much as 40,000 Silver Lions lost per battle, plus the 50,000 ticket, with only 50,000 Silver Lions gained for a win and no rewards for second place, nor for your actions in battle. That, my friends, is called money grubbing. But with the so-called player-driven marketplace now live for you to buy rare premiums like the LA-174 prototype, KV-220 and ME-262A2A Sturmvogel, the latter of which sold for $1,200 US or 1,200 Gaijin coins, perhaps it's not the worst money grubbing Gaijin's done recently. The second major problem has to do with the gameplay itself, and if you're a touchy sort of viewer who gets triggered a lot, please turn off this video before you hurt yourself. Last week, I discussed in a video the potential of a free-for-all game mode in War Thunder after hosting a custom battle on a livestream where we tried that concept out with viewers. One thing I said in that video is that there are several necessities in trying to implement that sort of game mode. Now, I'm not saying that Gaijin made this event because of my video, however, I have just joined the Content Creation Partnership Program, so perhaps someone at Gaijin happened to stumble across it. Nonetheless, the things I discussed were not present in this game mode, and that made the gameplay very flawed. Now, one thing I do have to give them credit for is that players spawned in a ring, equidistant from each other. This is something I suggested, so it's great to see that feature make it into the tournament. However, the respawn points often prove troublesome when a player would be lucky enough to respawn right behind another player and take them out with 0 skill necessary, or unlucky enough to spawn directly in front of an enemy and being taken out without the faintest hope of a chance, essentially dooming that player's chances in the match. I stated that the game mode would work best with infinite respawns and a time limit. Infinite respawns and a target number of kills would also work, but having a set number of aircraft to use ruined everything. Frequently, I would find myself literally unable to do anything to win a battle despite having a couple of spawns left less than halfway through it because there were not enough players with respawns left in the battle for me to achieve 6 kills. I also don't agree that repair costs should have been attributed to players during this event. That seems a little excessive in my mind, but that's once again an issue with the economy and not the gameplay. And here's where I get really ranty. This game mode was utterly devoid of skill, in my opinion. Most of the engagements were head-ons due to the unreliability of long engagements, as someone could spawn 300 feet away from you whilst you're dogfighting somebody else. People would frequently space climb and end up winning the battle because they were the only players left with spawns, while all the skilled players who actually participated without being passive bastards abusing the game mode would have nothing to show for their efforts but a large silver lion bill. No true dogfights could happen because there would be numerous players all vying to kill each other rather than focusing on specific targets, and respawning players would always have the advantage, unless they happen to be unlucky, in which case their chances were completely eradicated and the match and its high cost made pointless simply through RNG. At best, this tournament could be described as a skillless, head-on fuckfest. It is also a shocking display of greed by Gaijin, basically stating, haha, whatever we ask you to pay, you will pay. Now, you may be watching this thinking, but Koala, isn't that what you wanted a free-for-all to be? A comical diversion from the competitiveness of standard air battles, a break from the regular game modes? Well, yes. However, as I stated previously, it would only really work with infinite respawns and a time limit, the winner being the highest scoring player after that time has elapsed. A kill target or even a point target could also work with infinite respawns, however that target would have to be higher than what we saw in this event. There would also have to be an algorithm in place that allows for players to spawn anywhere along this circle of spawn points rather than at these specific points, and prevents people spawning either too close or too far away from enemy players. The starting timer from tournament battles, which prevents players from firing in the first few seconds of a match, also has a place in this mode to prevent the unavoidable orgy of head-on engagements that happened within seconds of the tournament matches starting every time. There also needs to be a ceiling to prevent players climbing too high, and this ceiling would have to be very low compared to regular air battles. I'd say as low as 1200 to 1500 meters. Even if free-for-all jets were to become a reality, this would not be too low a cap on the map because of the nature of these dogfights. A free-for-all is designed to bring fun and hilarity, not pressure and competitiveness. This, as I said before, head-on fuckfest is not fun. Finding matches unwinnable because you physically can't get enough kills to end the game no matter what you do is not fun. Trying to implement pressure into this game mode with limited ability to spawn is not fun. But this was a tournament, a competition, not just a regular match or an event like the races for example. This was designed to be a high pressure environment, just one that allows for less skilled pilots who may not play tournaments or play the game competitively to still have a chance at winning. And there too, this mode failed miserably. High stakes tournaments are no place for a free-for-all. Tournaments are a place for the highly skilled to put their abilities to good use, to earn rewards through skill. Air Arcade sees more skill from this game mode. Rewards weren't earned by skilled play, they were dished out by RNG. In a regular free-for-all mode, this wouldn't be an issue, but this? When I brought up the potential of a free-for-all as a game mode, this was the exact opposite of what I was hoping for. Nonetheless, I did manage to win the required 9 matches in realistic mode to unlock the Spitfire AF Mark 9C, which took me around 30 matches total, none of which I enjoyed. This head-on fuckfest will never be War Thunder, but as a content creator, my job is to critique, not just throw shade, so I will say that I appreciate Gaijin looking into a free-for-all mode, and with some work, a lot of work, I may honestly like to see it implemented. Perhaps an aircraft battle royale mode also deserves a place. Let's get a discussion going in the comment section below. So anyway lads, that's it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe if you did, as there will be new content out on my channel every single day. I do apologise for the lack of content recently. I've been very busy, but I've got plenty of videos planned for the next few days, so do keep an eye out. Come follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and all the rest. Links below, and as always, I'll see you lads next video. So the event labelled Silent Thunder returns to the water like the 2016 April Fool's event, which we saw pirate ships, this time with some very modern nuclear-powered submarines, which also have nuclear armament. Yes, we have nukes in War Thunder, hold on to your tits. Now, these submarines specifically are the American Virginia class, the Soviet-Russian Yasen class, and the British Vanguard class. Now, I'm extremely limited for time right now, but let's just have a read of War Thunder's official page on the event while you guys can watch the